So this week on the Monday Money Minute, we were discussing the ETFs and the power of investing in them, as it's a great way to diversify your portfolio, getting into the market and being able to spread out your assets into this market space. It's wonderful to be able to utilize some amazing opportunities and to help us in the various sectors across the scope of the market, whether that be in healthcare, technology, industrials, consumer goods, and many others. This week, I wanted to teach you and explain why ETFs are so powerful. So when you're talking about the stock market and you're discussing investing in single stocks, there's a lot of risk. It's kind of like flash frying in a frying pan. You know, the meal could be really good, but at the same time, you can burn yourself if things aren't going right, if it's not just perfect. So instead of just investing in one single stock or maybe a compilation of single stocks, what happens is an ETF groups some of the best stock allocations for each market sector and puts them into a lump sum family. And that's really what it's like. It's very similar to a mutual fund that can be traded on a regular basis. So with ETFs, it's able to spread out your money through a course of a number of different companies. And that could be anywhere from 15 different companies all the way to over 3,600 when you're following the total stock market index. Now, when it comes to ETFs, some of the best ones that I highly suggest that you get into include VTI, which is tracking the total stock market index when it comes to Vanguard funds. That has gone up by over $80 since this year has started. Then I also like VOO, which is following the S&P 500, another Vanguard fund, because with this ETF there's a low cost ratio, and it's also gone up from $339 to over $383 in just the course of 4 months. Spider funds are also really good, specifically SPY. That's another ETF that I highly suggest. It's gone up over $50 in the first 4 months of this year. VUG, the growth ETF with Vanguard, another great fund, $25 gain in the first 4 months as well. And then we have VHT, healthcare. You know, want to get into that healthcare. The pandemic is still here. Vaccines are out. Very good to get into this sector. And that healthcare ETF, VHT, is extremely good as well. Then we have VGT, another Vanguard fund that's for technology. And this one has risen in a monumental way from $237 to over $376 in just the course of the last 12 months. And lastly, Sky, SKYY, First Cloud Trust Computing, a great ETF when it comes to technology, $60 to $100 in terms of gains over the last year, going from $60 to $100. Amazing to be able to see these monumental gains in the tech sector. So make sure that you continue to check out ETFs to get involved and make sure that you're diversifying your portfolio. It's not a bad thing to invest in stocks, but it's super helpful for you to get involved in ways that can spread out your money across a number of different sectors, and by not having to pile up or pool up your money in one single stock. The last thing I'll say is, take Tesla, for example. Great stock, has risen in monumental ways. However, how many people can afford right now to be spending $700 for one single stock? On the other end, you can be in the Spider ETF, and it could cost you $417, but it could diversify yourself into all the best S&P 500 companies throughout the entire stock market. Or Sky, for example, SKYY, First Trust Cloud Computing. If you want to get into companies such as the tech giants like Microsoft and Apple and all these others, then you can get into that First Trust Cloud Computing ETF, and it can help you to diversify your portfolio without having to pool hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but for simply $100 right now, you can get involved in all those companies and you can ride the gains. Sure, you're not going to see the 500% gains or 200% gains, but you will see, $25 gains over the course of a month. You will see sometimes, over the course of a year, $100 per ETF single trade that you're doing. So there's ways that you can make money over the long haul. I'm an investor that likes to look at a 1 to 3 year time period. So thinking about that when you're investing and diversifying your portfolio to bulletproof any dips in the stock market. And that is what an ETF is going to do. It's going to help you to diversify it so that way it spreads it out, and that way you're not feeling the pains of the dips in the market, but you're also riding the gains when it goes up. I hope that this was helpful. Continue to watch my videos on EF3LIFE.com/financial and follow me every Monday on the Monday Money Minute, EF3LIFE.com/financial, and on Instagram at EF3LIFE.